This is Charles Stewart.
And the Reverend Dr. Anthony Williams.
We are Church Without Walls.
And we are here today to give you information that you don't normally get at church.
We come your way every Monday morning, 11 to 12.
Call in with your comment or your questions, and we'll be glad to try and answer them for you. If we don't have the answer today, we will get it to you on a message.
Don't you dare miss it.
This is Congressman Cedric Richmond, and you're watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi, this is Stan Schofield, and I'm inviting all of my KWK family and my family to watch Church Without Walls, 11 o'clock on Mondays, for the greatest and latest show around. Thank you.
I'm Cynthia Lee Shang, and you're watching Church Without Walls on New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Joe Lapinto, and you are watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
This program does not reflect the views and opinions of the New Orleans Talk Network. Viewer discretion is advised.
Kick it for me one time.
What is the world coming to? Seems like everyone is running.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. You are watching and you are listening to Church Without Walls in the studios of the New Orleans Talk Network. We come your way every Monday morning, 11 to 12 Central Standard Time. We thank you for listening, and we thank you for watching. We certainly hope that you had a wonderful week, and especially a wonderful weekend. It's a beautiful day. Unfortunately, it is raining, but even rain is beautiful at times. So it's all good. We thank God for this beautiful rainy day. We hear Dr. Anthony Williams and Charles Stewart. We here every Monday morning, as I said earlier, 11 to 12. This show, Church Without Walls, was designed with you in mind to talk to our community, to let them know people of God, many of our brothers and sisters that attend various different churches. We need to be educated, and we also need to understand that politics do affect everyone, not some of the people, but all the people. And that's why Church Without Walls was designed to knock down the walls that may stand in our way. And every day of our life, some families have some problem one for another. But anyway, we're here to hold hands with our brothers and sisters and do what we can. And Dr. Williams, if you call the show and want to ask us a question, or if you got a problem, we can't promise you that we can solve your problem, but we will get you an answer. If we can't do it today, we'll do it next week. We can't do it next week, we'll do it the following week, but some way, somehow, we will get you the information that you need. Download the app. Tell your friend to download the app. www. New Orleans Talk Network. We also on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And be a part of the show. Not only you can listen, if you choose, you can watch us. And we want to tell you that tell your friend, and all those have problems, and Dr. William and I, we believe that we, with the help of God, will solve your problem. I know many of us listen. Oftentimes we hear our pastor, whoever speaking, says no problem too big for God. And Dr. William and I believe that God will give us some kind of answer to help our listening audience. And today I want to, wish a happy birthday to Tanya Bates, who she says she look at the show every Monday. She can't call, but she at work she can peep at her. So happy birthday to her this morning. And I also want to say happy birthday to my daughter, Felicia Stewart, who she live in Atlanta, but you know this show goes everywhere all over the world, so she can hear us and also she can see us. So happy birthday. She my baby girl. And I love her and want to say happy birthday. I want to say happy birthday to everyone that had a birthday. You know, February was a shortest month in the year. And it certainly went by fast, but happy birthday to everyone, all the February and all those that coming up this month. And want to say, if anyone's birthday today, happy birthday to you. And today is open mic. Anything that you want to talk about, Dr. William and I, we here to talk with you about it. And you can call 1-563-999-1808. Again, 1-563-999-1808. Dr. William, I know you had a good week this week.
Always have a good week. Well, week was good, and when you wake up in the morning, it's always a good day, and you hope that the rest of the week will follow in the same capacity. Fortunately, I did have death in my family. I lost my brother who was next to me, and I wound up going to 2 funerals. But God is still in charge and still standing on the cross, so we give him all the reverence to know that he won't make a mistake. He's too wise to make a mistake.
But Dr. William, certainly I know anytime you lose a loved one, you know, oftentimes I know you got that a lot. People walk up to you and say, Doc, I know how you feel, but they saying that to try to comfort, you know, to give you a little comfort, but I said nobody know how you feel when you knew that loved one. I know when somebody walk up to me, I know when I lost my mother, people say, I know how you feel. I'm saying to myself, you ain't got an idea how I feel. But it does feel good.
They're just words of comfort.
Word of comfort, yeah.
All.
And so
you can't tell a person how they feel because everybody's different.
Right.
You know, you don't know what that person is actually going through. I made it a fact of promise myself. I never tell nobody right now. I know how you feel. I tell them I have an idea.
Yeah, that's it.
How you feel.
Me and you on the same page on that, Dr. William. I always tell people, I know how you feel. I don't sit in them. I don't wear them shoes. And I got an idea how you feel, but nobody's feeling. So we certainly want to keep the Jones family in prayer, and we know that God will be with them in their time of sorrow. Dr. William, what's going on all over the country? We've been dealing with now over a year. The COVID virus, people dying, it done slowed down a lot. But over 500,000 people, over 500,000 people have died from the COVID virus. And in the state of Louisiana, I think there's like it's like about, I think, right at 1,000, 1,000, and I think during the hurricane, and one of the baddest hurricanes we ever had came through, the virus done exceeded them. I think with the COVID virus in the state of Louisiana, I think it done killed over 5,000 people, and the hurricane it on killed like 1,000, I think 900 something. So the virus is a silent killer. It's something that we get. A hurricane, you hear it and seen it, but that virus is something that this country haven't seen in quite a while since, when the polio and all different diseases like that came along. But this here, Dr. William, have been something that we started off wrong, dealing with it wrong, and for the sake of my life, I can understand it. And Dr. William, how according to the news reporter, that could have been prevented if at the time was President Trump, if he would have had acted when they asked him to. And many of us seen that on television. He said, well, it's just like a little cold, it's going to go away. But over 500,000 people done died and haven't went away yet. And the part that confused me, that I don't understand, he like he was a hero, you know, like he go around the country, and he probably he ain't no problem, he the most popular Republican that it is, and they act like that wasn't nothing. To me, I don't understand it, Dr. William, how those many people could die, and he said it is what it is.
Well, Dr. Charles, you're going to find that even the Bible talks about things like that there will be those who will come speaking much swelling words and saying things to the people that will try to get them to follow them. And so, as an example, you see some of that in President Trump, past President Trump anyway. But if you look at what's actually happened, the Bible is basically foretelling what was foretold. And people are following Trump now. They don't know whether he's gonna try to start a new party, or whether he's going to try to do something conservative to bring the Republican Party to another height. You look at the news right now and you see when he's speaking, and some of the things that I dislike, you know, personally, but I'm just one person. You know, I dislike a person who will get out and say something and not have information to back it up, or a person who's just talking to be talking, saying things that people want to hear. Once you find out what a person wants to hear, you publicize that.
Right.
And you begin to exploit that across the news media and stuff like that. And people will follow because of what they would like to see happen. Mm-hmm. So as a condition right now, what we should, as a people in the United States, should pay close attention to what a person is saying and try to differentiate between the good and the bad of what they're saying. And you've got to be a picky person. Just like you go in the store and you pick your fruits, you pick your vegetables, then you got to be picky on the conversation that you're hearing, because you know your faith gonna come by what you hear. Faith come by hearing, but you got to have the Word of God in there to be able to give you some insight on what's good and what's bad. See, when you took from that tree, you took the knowledge of good and evil.
Yeah.
Well, you got to be able to differentiate between what's good and what's bad for you.
Dr. William, we got to take a station break, but we're going to take a break, and when we come back, Dr. William, we're going to be talking about did President Trump, some of the things that he said, they say he lie, but some of the things I believe that he told the truth about. And he shed a light on a lot of different things regardless how you feel about him. Some of the things that he was truthful about, but I know a few things that he told the truth about. But some people say lie, but I mean the whole country bought that. But I know some things that he told the truth about. So we're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back.
You can do it, yeah.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Yep, yep.
This is Charles Stewart.
And the Reverend Dr. Anthony Williams.
We are Church Without Walls.
And we are here today to give you information that you don't normally get at church.
We come your way every Monday morning, 11 to 12.
Call in with your comment or your questions, and we'll be glad to try and answer them for you. If we don't have the answer today, we will get it to you on a message.
Don't you dare miss it.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
This program does not reflect the views and opinions of the New Orleans Talk Network. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yo, Mob, kick it for me one time.
What is the world coming to? Seems like everyone is running from the truth.
We are back. You are listening and you are watching Church Without Walls in the studios of the New Orleans Talk Network. We here every Monday morning, 11 to 12 Central Standard Time. Today we have open mic today. Anything that anyone want to talk about, whatever on their mind, today is the day that you can do that. And Dr. William and I, we were talking about the COVID virus earlier, and we know that in the beginning, I guess it was something that regardless who was president would have had to deal with it. And I guess it all depended on how they would have dealt with it. Whether another president would have dealt with it different from President Trump, I can't say, I don't know. But Donald Trump, he says a lot of things. Some of them he said that he don't mean them, and some of them he do mean. And I just think that he, in his mind, he think he understand how to. I think he have some people call that a hook. He got a hook that like I said, when you go fishing, you catch a fish with a hook. When you drop it in the water, you put bait on it, and when the fish grab that bait rail, you jack your hook, you hook him. So Donald Trump have that ability to throw stuff out there, bait out there to the people in America, and he know how to hook them. For instance, Rev, like anybody know anything about fishing, when you go to fishing, certain thing, you can catch a perch with a worm. You get an earthworm put on your hook, and you can catch him. But to get a redfish, you need swimp on your end of your hook. You can hook. So some people you can use. You got some people they use very different types of bait. Some of them have like a little artificial fish, and they catch fish with that. So Donald Trump, in my opinion, Reverend William, he have that ability to grab, throw that hook out there. And something he said and something that he was right on. And I'm not saying...
Dr. Stewart, Donald Trump have a usury of words. And if you're going to catch something, you have to catch it with something that they're familiar with.
Right.
If you want to catch a man that's out there in the street, you know the type of women that he's looking at, so that's what you're going to put in front of him.
Yeah.
That's going to get his attention. You can use a piece of meat on a hook to catch a perch because basically the smell is what catch their nose to something.
Okay.
There are different things that you can use. Even the preaching of the word. Preach the right words, and it catch the attention of people, that's what will draw them to the word that draws them to Christ. So you
Right.
got something good on your hook. When Jesus told them, said, drop your net on the right side of the boat, they had been fishing on the right side all night.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so it wasn't that they was on the wrong side. It's at His word
Right, okay.
that you catch things. So you take the average individual who's trying to catch the Trump has a usury of words,
Right.
and he once he find out what's available, what's the people really thinking, what the people really want, he used that. He throws that out there at them, and he catches their attention. Once he catches their attention, then he can reel them in, and then he can deal with it. You can't clean a fish till you do what? Till you catch it.
Catch him. You got
Yeah.
to catch him.
So he uses the right word to catch your attention, and once he catches your attention, then he's able to wheel you in.
Right.
So you got a lot of people right now who are still following the president, the past president.
Right.
Okay, and so he's still using those words to catch them and to draw them
Right.
in.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the things that we've got to be careful of, because people will say what you want to hear. It's just like a football team. They look at all of the films. They know what the quarterback gonna do. They know how he's gonna place his feet when he's getting ready to throw a certain way. They watches his eyes, so they monitor all of that. Then when they get in the game, they're watching him. They know what he's gonna do, and once he make those moves, they know where he's going.
Yep.
So that's the same thing with individuals in the world. You have to learn how to monitor what is put before you.
Right.
They put the plate on the table, but you have to look at the plate and see what kind of food on it, whether that's what you want or you don't want it.
Right.
And that's not happening with the American citizens right now.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds good, it tickles your ear, you run with it.
Right. And you know, like I know it been probably 40-something years ago. Donald Trump said that if he ever ran for president, that he would run as a Republican. I think it was a David Frost interview. And when he was interviewing me, asked him, said, would he ever run for president? He said he don't know, and he not sure if he ever ran, but if he ever ran for president, he would run as a Republican. And the statement was that why would you want to run as a Republican? He said they were the most stupid people in the whole world. And so some people look at that when they said Donald Trump said they were the most stupid people in the whole world. That was the word that came out of his mouth at the time. But I think what Donald Trump would look at is with the Republican Party, it have the people what they believe are, you know, Dr. Williams. And most of it, they're able to come together with it, but a lot of it divided, like the Republican Party. I think he was dealing with Republican Party. You got Ku Klux Klan, well, during this time, but now you got the Proud Boys, you got all kind of racial group that support it. So that's where he knows, like you said earlier, he know how to deal with words, and he know exactly what to say for word to use for the Proud Boys, any kind of racist group that support the Republican Party. He knows the word right now. He got a sound bite that right now that he got out. He set the stage for that when he had to run for re-election. He said, if I lose something wrong, they cheated me. So he planning people. They got people right now, no longer than yesterday, saying that Trump is still president, that he gonna come back and take over. They got some Republicans, and last week got mad. They seen what Biden done on Air Force One. He ain't supposed to be on there. That's Trump airplane.
Well, if you look at what's happening right now, Dr. Stewart, you know, you look at the fact that Trump is more prone to a rich class of people, and you know, people are governed in the United States basically on wealth, production, organizations, and stuff like that. So those people are going to gravitate together with one another. So the Bible tells you the poor you're gonna have always. So the poor is like a lower class of people, and the Republican deal with people of a higher class, of a white collar type of situation. And as long as they're in control and they have the all with all to keep other people where they are so that they can stay where they are, they deal with levels.
Right.
And they're not going to let you come to the level that they are, because then that's going to take away from the lower level, and that's going to take away from the workers. It's just like you're in an organization. They'll send a plan down to the floor.
Right.
To see if the plan is going to work. They don't know whether that plan is going to work, so they send it down to the working people to see how they're going to make it work. And then once they see what's working and what's not working, they'll take that plan and revise it and send it back down to the floor again and say that this is what they want done. And then they'll keep revising it until they get it where they want it, and then it'll work. But it's not the people who at the upper level that really made the plan. All they do is they send a plan of action to the floor, and then the floor makes it work. They find out what will work and what won't work.
Right.
And then they send it back upstairs, and upstairs then they'll revise it. Say, well, this is not working, so let's take this out and send it back down and see if this will work.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got situations like that. And even with Donald Trump, he's not there as the president anymore, but he still have that usury of words where he can actually get the people to walk with him or walk toward him or try and go with him. So he's going to continue to use that until there's nothing else to be used.
Right.
You know, he has a little money. You know, you look at a lot of things that happen. He does things to bring credibility to himself.
Right.
I think they said he burnt down one of his major hotels. You know, I mean that brings attention to him. That conference he had the other day, that brought attention to him. So there are people that actually believe in him, whether he's right or wrong.
Right.
They believe in him, so they're gonna go with that.
Yeah.
Because he's saying stuff that tickles their ear, stuff that they want to hear. And as long as he's saying stuff that they want to hear, they're going to follow him.
Right.
You know, you vote for candidate based on what? Based upon what they put before you. How they say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And ain't no candidate going to do everything that they're telling you they're going to do, because they can't do it by themselves.
Right.
You got to get somebody else to work with you to get that to happen.
Mm. But, you know, I guess my understanding of politics is that we don't understand politics, and we the people. And saying that, you know, Dr. William, is, like I said, is that people saying them Republicans ain't no good. A lot of my friends are Republican, you know, and to be set here and to be honest, that I done got way more favors out of Republican elected officials than Democrat elected officials. You know, for whatever reason, I was able to be friends with them, and when there was a problem in the community, whatever the problem may have been, and when I asked them would they intervene, would they step in, and it was no problem. And it was something they did right away. They didn't say, well, I'll get back with you next week or call me in 2 weeks. They addressed the problem, you know, within an hour. They said, make a call and I'll get back with you. And I kid you not, in a day or so, somebody calling you from higher rank who you wouldn't expect to call you. So it's just the fact of the matter is that I think that we the people don't really understand how the political system works. You know, like Rev, you just said that Republican people, it's not that a lot of them, you know, believe in the Proud Boys or any kind of racial group. It's not, they have a bunch of them don't believe in that. And they don't support that. But for them to live the quality of life that they want, they have to accept that. I mean, that helped them with their agenda. I mean, some people, they say that They said, I remember Pastor Jones say you dance with a lady who you took to the dance because you can go on with her.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take a lady to a dance and you see something you think a little better, and you go dance with her, you might miss out. Then the one you brought to the dance don't want to be bothered with you either, so you lose out completely. So it's that like Rev, I believe that that Donald Trump exposed a lot of things. If people look into them, I think we will be well more certain, we'll be well more educated how politics work.
Well, one of the things that he exposed, Dr. Stewart, was the fact that he exposed that there was prejudice in every party.
Right.
He put that on national web to show that there were prejudice in all of the parties, not just in the Democrat Party, not just in the Republican Party, not just in the no denomination,
right,
but it was all over.
Right.
And so he exposed that. He exposed everything so that you could see. And I think he put that on national news.
Right.
And so, that was all. Some of the things he did, I mean, it was just unbecoming of a person in the position that he held.
Right.
But at that point, it was with Donald Trump. At that point, it came up, so it came out.
Right.
Now y'all deal with it, and I'll cover it up. And then when it comes back on and say, I said this, well, that's not really what I said.
Right.
And see, as a person that's in politics, they have a way with words.
Right.
They'll say something, but then they'll have another way of putting it because they put a little clause in it. You know, to say, even with government, they say, okay, we can do this, but we can't do this.
Right.
The same thing they told you we can do,
right,
they say in another paragraph, we can't do it.
Right.
And by the time you get through with all the can do and the can't do, you're right back to where you started it from at the top.
Yeah.
So you haven't covered anything. You just put a lot of literature within there to make you think you can't do it, and it seems like it's covered up. It's there and exposed. So when they come back to you and tell you, say, well, the word said, the literature said this, they say, well, no, that's not what it said. It told you, then we came down here and told you that you can't do it, but you didn't follow those instructions, so you stayed with that.
Rev, we got to take another break, so we're going to take another break. You are listening, you are watching Church Without Walls in the studios of the New Orleans Talk Network. Your host, Charles Stewart, and the Reverend Dr. Anthony Williams. We'll be right back.
Yo, Mob, kick it for me one time.
What is the world coming to? Seems like everyone is running from the truth. We just stand up and fight.
Hi, I'm Christine Penn, and NOLA, I want you to get ready for an all-new talk experience, Women of Significance, on the New Orleans Talk Network. Each week, we're covering new topics, new guests, new trends, and message of the day with me, your host, Christine Penn. So NOLA, tune in each week on the New Orleans Talk Network, where we use our voice with power, with purpose.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
Bethesda House of Prayer. Bethesda is a church for non-traditional worshipers, a church designed for those who love God's Word. Would you like to attend a church where believers and non-believers can choose to worship together? A church where cultural differences does not get in the way of God's message. We invite you to be our special guest. Our services begin 9 a.m. on Sunday, located at 7601 West Bank Expressway, Suite B, Marrero, Louisiana. For more information, contact us at 504-348-0132.
This program does not reflect the views and opinions of the New Orleans Talk Network. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love.
We are back. You are listening and watching Church Without Walls. we here today, and we have open mic, and Dr. William and I, we are talking. We start off talking about the COVID virus. We certainly hope that that the people that if you listen and watching, you encourage your friend and your neighbor. That at least I believe, I can't speak for nobody else, that you definitely should get that shot because according to the experts and across the country, that is certainly they hoping by November. I heard a doctor the other day said that they could have somewhat hold on it by the end of July, and certainly that would be good news that if we can go back to live a normal life. But have you ever I talked to many people who have took the shot. None of them have no problem. A few of them say their arm was sore. Talked with my daughter last night. She said that she didn't take the shot yet. I said, why not? She said that her girlfriend had got a little nauseated after she took it. I said, well, I think from a national point of view, they said maybe 3 or 5% of people that took that shot.
0.5.
Huh? 0.5.
0.5.
Yeah, so that's a very low percent. So anything that happens, it's gonna affect somebody. All our bodies different. Some people can't take flu shot because whatever in that have some type of an egg in it, and they simply can't take the flu shot. So like, if you're healthy enough and your doctor says you can take it, I recommend you take it. I know I took it. Thank God I had both of my shots, and
we got a lot of people saying they don't know what's in it and all of that stuff, but just like we said earlier, you know, you take Tylenol, you take Anacin, you take Aleve, and you don't really know what's in there.
No, you sure don't. You don't know what's in it.
But you take it because they say it's good for you.
Yeah.
Now, you know, considering the fact that the way the virus is, it may not be 100% accurate to cure the disease.
Right.
But just like the Anacin suppresses your condition.
Right.
It don't cure your position. That can suppress the effect of what that virus may have upon you, and that you know, if the shot is working for everybody else, well, I want to take it too. If I want it to work for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I would love to stay here. I want to go to heaven, but I ain't no hurry to get there.
Yeah. So anyway, we just wanted to put a little footnote on that. That was the beginning of the show for those that I got a text and people want to know what was that. But anyway, that was a discussion. But we had left that discussion. We started talking about the people in our citizens all over the country and all over the world. And I'm saying all over the world, but mainly in the United States, and of course, the people in the state of Louisiana, that it's a lot of things that go on in politics, you know, and like we very open-minded, and we very open, Dr. William and I, about the conversation that when we left from the COVID virus, we started talking about President Trump and how, you know, they say that if he would have got a hold of the virus, it wouldn't have been there, but it's here. So we had to deal with it, and also we led on the conversation saying how people believe in people who got word, and especially elected officials, they way with word in that, and people believe anything that it is, and like it was Dr. William, it was mind-boggling to me. They had this lady on television, on national news. They asked her that, said, do you believe in what the science says? She said, no. You believe in what the new reporter? No. You believe in government? Everything? Well, no. She said, what you believe? She said, well, anything President Trump said, I believe him only.
Well, that gives you the idea that that Trump is becoming a god to some people. You know, so
And you know, and go to show you how Dr. William, how you know that people feel that way. At the what they had at that PAC, what they
PAC conference,
Global PAC, whatever it was they had in Florida. I know I forget the first name, but anyway, they had this organization made a statue of Trump, made out of gold. And had him, made him a martyr of gold, and he had this man and killed. They say over 500,000 people.
Well,
you know,
you
by not reacting to that virus. I mean, how could you make somebody a moral? You know, like I don't get it. You know, like.
Well, it's in the Bible, Stuart. You remember when Israel left Egypt? After they crossed the Red Sea and all, and they got over there, got to Mount Sinai, you had a couple of people there that wanted them to go back to Egypt, but in order for them to go back to Egypt, they had to make a god. So they made a god, a calf of gold.
Okay.
And that was going to lead them back to Pharaoh, so when they got to Pharaoh, they know they was bringing a idol god with them to go before them. But what they fail to realize is God was the one that led them through the wilderness and everything else. Led them as a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, so they could see where they was going and so they would be comfortable on their way.
Right.
But here you got people right now in the United States who have actually and made a god out of Trump. They're following him because they think that he is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And the Bible tells you that the truth will not set you free, but it will make you free.
Right.
So if you can't discern between what the truth is, you know, then you're gonna follow the wrong thing. So it's time for people in the United States to wake up.
And you know, Dr. William, you know, like certain things you hear, it's mind-boggling to me. They had this guy. He was a professor at one of them universities. Might have been Vanderbilt, one of them. And they asked him about how did he feel about the election. Did he think that the election was taken from Trump? He said, "Well," he said, "I really can't say." He said, "The only thing I had a problem for when they put the machine."
There your statue of Trump right there.
Right.
We show that on the screen. That's Trump. And you see, he got the flag on and everything else.
And that's a god to many, many, many people. He got over 700 million votes. So I don't know how many agree with that. Now, not all those people believe in that. Some people just don't want their lifestyle taken away from them. But you know, Dr. William, you know, when you really look at how people perceive something, like say that is I was saying that this particular doctor said that he don't trust the voting machine, and he don't say with machine it could not be accurate. But my question would have been, if I would have been interviewing him, I would ask him, do you trust when you go to the ATM machine, when you say you want to withdraw $200? You don't know how that works. Well, you know you get $200, right?
If you go to your code in there.
Huh?
You got to put your
code
in.
You put your code in there. So the same way, it used to be if you want a cold drink right now, they have like the little snack machine. And if they said 75 cents, well,
you can put $1 in there and get your change.
Yeah, you get your change. Now that works, you trust that. But people trust what they want to trust, you know.
Make it simple, Stuart. We came into the studio today, right?
Right.
We sitting in the chair, right?
Right.
We don't know whether that chair was going to break or hold us or what.
Right.
But we had enough faith to sit in that chair believing that this was going to happen.
Right.
So that's the way it is. Once a person can get you to believe in something, then it can control you.
Right.
Because even if you look at religion is only a belief.
Right.
You know, And people control people with religion.
Right.
Go all back to the scribes and the Pharisees. They made these idols, and these idols, they made stuff to speak through the idols where they actually thought the idols were actually speaking. And the people believed it. So they were controlled by that.
Right.
So you have to look at people that's politicians right now. Politicians will make you all the promises in the world, knowing that they're not going to be able to fulfill half of what they're making. But that's what you want to hear, so that's what they say to you.
But you know, you know, the people in the world, you know, some of them want what they want.
And gonna do whatever they need to do to get it.
Yeah, they're gonna you're right, Dr. Williams. They're gonna say whatever it is necessary to get what they want, and they don't care who they hurt. And for the sake of my life, I don't understand how people can break in the most prestigious government building in Washington, D.C., and the people got, I mean, it's almost like you don't see. The people got sign of Confederate flag, Trump sign and all that, but they said that Trump didn't know nothing about it. I was talking to a guy the other week, and he told me, he said, Trump ain't had nothing to do with that. I said, what do you mean? He said he spoke to him, but he ain't tell us. He told him to go down Pennsylvania Avenue, and he told him that he was going to be with him. I said, but he didn't go with him. He said, no, I ain't hear that part. That's
well, the part they
people
didn't
hear
hear
what they want to hear.
He said go down Pennsylvania. He was going to be with him.
Yeah,
he didn't say whether he was going to be with them in a physical body, or whether he was going to be with them in a spiritual mind.
Right.
So he said,
but they didn't understand that. You know, he wasn't going to be with them.
It's a choice of words. A choice of words.
Right. Yeah.
But we come back and ask Trump, said, well, you said you was going to be with us. He said, I was.
Yeah.
I was with you. I was with y'all in mind.
Yeah,
because y'all were following the instructions I gave y'all, so I was with y'all.
Right. And he told me, make them go down there and make them do the right thing. And he said, I pray to God, Mike Pence, to do the right thing. But anyway, we got to take another break for the day, y'all. This is our last break of the day, so we'll be right back. You are listening to Church Without Walls.
Kick it for me one time.
What is the world coming to? Seems like everyone is running from the truth.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
Hi, I'm Prophetess Charlene Duforce.
And I'm Bishop Carol Duforce Sr.
And we're from Living Witnesses Ministries.
And we also have a program on the internet called Living by the Word Daily. And we're seen every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time on the New Orleans Talk Network.
And we would like to invite you to tune in with us every Wednesday morning, again, 11 to 12 noon Central Daylight Time. Please join us as we teach the Word of God. Thank you, and God bless.
God bless you.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
This program does not reflect the views and opinions of the New Orleans Talk Network. Viewer discretion is advised.
Kick it for me one time.
Okay. We are back. You are listening and watching Church Without Walls, the studios of the New Orleans Talk Network. Reverend Dr. Anthony William and Charles Stewart. We are your hosts every Monday morning, 11 to 12. Tell your friends and also your loved one that we are here every Monday morning to share with you what we did during the course of the week. We also want to know what you was involved. And I got a text. Someone asked me a question, and I don't know if if I could answer. I may have to answer next week. But anyway, they asked me a peculiar question. They want to know what percentage of people do I think that is ignorant to the fact and that don't understand the political arena, and they understand simply the facts of life and the process. And that's something I don't know, Dr. Williams, if I can answer, but I can say that I can say what I believe. I believe that maybe 80% of the people don't even care. They go about their daily life every day. I think you may get, I said maybe 20% or 15% actually care about the way the government operates, actually about it. I'm more than sure if you would go in Walmart or any popular store and interview the people in the store, 80% of them probably can tell you who the president is. They would have to think, they just actually, they can tell you who their councilmen are. They don't care, so it's very easy for people to tell them anything, and they believe it. I've seen on the guy, the talk show host on Jimmy Fallon, what's his name? Jimmy Fallon, I think is his name, that come on ABC. And oftentimes, once a month, he sent his camera crew out in the street, and he would interview people, and I'm talking about college students. And he would ask, different questions. Said the president just signed a relief bill that he's going to give everybody $20,000 extra a year. That's wonderful that he's going to do that. That's uninformed. And he asked some of them, do you know that Congress just signed a relief bill that everybody had to go to bed for 9 o'clock? Why would they do that? Who's going to stop them? He asked them simple questions, and that they don't even have an idea that what's going on in government. And these is the people of the future. Then you interview some of the older people, and you ask them, said President Trump, they found out that he really didn't lose the election, so he can get his seat back next month. And some of us, that's wonderful. So, Dr. Williams, so that's why I say I believe maybe 20% of the people in the United States may actually understand government and pay attention to it. The rest of the people, they do not care. And
people hear what they want to hear.
Right.
They hear what they want to hear. They see what they want to see, and they do what they want to do.
Right.
They got no recompense for it.
Now, I think I want to believe, Dr. William, that the women, especially the women, I think that they paying attention to government more than any group that it is. I think that in the future they're going to be controlling a lot of elections, especially on a national basis, and they because they paying attention to government, and the reason what put that fight in them, they realize that they've been discriminated against for many, many years, the same way African American minority group was discriminated.
Well, think about it like
the woman was too.
Think about it like this, Dr. Stewart, that the help meet is rising to a level higher than she was positioned to be in.
Yeah.
And paying attention to more. You got more women's controlling some of the churches than the pastors in the church.
Right.
You know, you got women's in different political position who are rising up and speaking out. And all of this has happened because the man will not take their rightful stand in the place that God put them in.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's so much that women's want to be in control, is that women's has getting to a point whereas the man is not standing for what he should stand for. So they say, well, since you won't do what you're supposed to do, then we'll do it for you.
Right.
You know, women's now in control of their home.
Yeah.
You know, most women are running the home, not the men.
Right. Uh-huh.
If you look at what's happening, it's all going back to the Bible. The Bible is fulfilling itself. What's been foretold is being foretold.
And you know, Ralph, it's a choice of words, you know. I listening, you know, to a lot of stuff, but it's not none of my business, so I don't say nothing, but I can disagree with me in my mind. Like, you know, for instance, you know, like some men might say, well, I got to do this here, you know. You tell them, say, well, let's do it this way here. Then they say, well, I need to check with my wife and see if it's okay with her. To me, I disagree with that. If, you know, say, I don't have a wife, but if I had a wife and I want to do something, the most I would tell her, hey, baby, look, I agree with Dr. Williams. Got this plan. I want to do this with him. I want your opinion. You know, I'm not, you know, you're not, you know, like, when it comes down to this, I'm a man, so I want your opinion on how you feel about the decision. And then she tell me, but I ain't not gonna make her equal to my thinking, because a woman will take over, dog. You give a woman an inch, she gonna take a mile on you.
Well, you know, it all depends on how you look at it, Dr. Stubb, because that woman is like your strainer.
Right.
You know, I mean, you should discuss with her.
Right. No, I agree with that.
Things that's gonna happen. You should discuss with her. Y'all should have a communication, whereas it's not that she don't know what you're doing. You're getting ready to do something. You ought to talk to her about it.
Right.
You know, so y'all can be on the same page.
I agree with that.
You know,
I agree with that 100%.
I don't think that women are trying to take over. Is that once you look at a situation and see where it's not going to benefit you, you do one or two things.
Mm.
You either get out of it, get away from it, leave it alone, whatever. But you should work with your help meet.
Right.
That's why God called her a help meet.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, let her help you in your thinking. You say, I want to go buy this Cadillac, and know you can't afford it.
Right.
And woman said, baby, I don't think we can afford to do that. Well, this is what I want to do. I'm going to do that. Well, talk with her. You know, why can't we afford it?
Yeah, well, you know, it's like, you know, the person who texted me and asked me that question, I don't know if I gave him a good enough answer or not, and Dr. William and I will pray over. Hope I can have a better answer for you next week. But
what's the question?
Huh?
What's the question?
They wanted to know, do people what the percentage of the people in the United States actually care about government? Do they understand it? Do they participate in it? And do they care at all? So my question was, I thought she wanted to know the percentage. I thought it was about 80% the people don't care.
You can't give them a percent of it. Not that they don't care, it's that they don't know. They hear what people be saying, and it's time for us to end. They hear what people be saying, and they go with the flow. They go with what's placed before them.
Right.
So, I mean,
that means they don't care.
No, they care. They go with what's placed before them. They hear what they want to hear, and they're hearing some good stuff. It sounds good to them, but they don't have no education on that, and they haven't done any research. And it's not that they don't care; they just don't know.
But anyway, our time done came and gone for the day, and Again, when we came in the studio, Dr. William, it was rain. I said it was a beautiful rainy day, and I'm assuming it's still raining outside, but we hope that you have a wonderful rainy day today. You enjoy this day, and as always,
we say, there's no such thing as being half dead.
You're dead, you're dead. And we'll see y'all next week, and y'all have a wonderful blessed week.
Yo, Mob, kick it for me one time.
What